The iPhone 17 Pro is less than a month away from launch, with Apple's big reveal expected on September 9th, but in the tech leak world, you can't expect the wait to be quiet. Case in point images have surfaced of what appears to be an iPhone 17 Pro dummy unit, with its screen powered on. At first glance, you might think it's running iOS 26, but here's the twist: it's actually running Android. Now, before you panic or laugh, let's clear something up. This is not the real iPhone 17 Pro. According to people who know their stuff, it's not even that close to the real design. But it's still pretty funny and a little bizarre to see a fake iPhone, complete with the Apple logo, running Android before the actual device has even been announced. The leak comes from well-known tipster Sonny Dixon, who posted 3 images of the fake phone. The first shows a plain iPhone box with a black model printed on it. The second shows a silver phone with the iconic Apple logo on the back. The third image is where things get interesting because the device's screen is lit up, showing an interface that looks very much like iOS at first glance. You see all the familiar icons: the App Store, Safari, Messages, but something doesn't quite add up, and that's where the detective work comes in. Sonny Dixon points out that the biggest giveaway is the clock. On this dummy, the time is shown as 5:20. That might seem normal, but if you've used an iPhone, you know that iOS doesn't display a leading 0 for single-digit Rs in most English-language regions. It would simply read 5:20. Android, on the other hand, often shows the time with a leading 0 when using 24-hour format, especially in the default interface and notification bar. This is a small detail, but it's a dead giveaway that the device isn't running iOS, it's just Android in disguise. The fake uses third-party launchers, icon packs, and themes to mimic Apple's look, but the clock exposes the truth. And that's not the only thing Apple fans have noticed. Many pointed out that the bezels around the display look noticeably thicker than what we're expecting for the real iPhone 17 Pro. In fact, rumors suggest that the actual iPhone 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max will feature thinner bezels than the iPhone 16 Pro models, which already had some of the slimmest bezels in the smartphone market. So while this dummy does its best to look like Apple's upcoming flagship, the design details and the Android clock make it obvious that it's just a cheap imitation. These kinds of fakes aren't uncommon. In fact, every year we see a wave of counterfeit devices popping up in markets around the world, often long before the official launch. They're sometimes used as props for case manufacturers to prepare accessories ahead of time, or simply made to cash in on hype. But they also serve as a reminder. Early hands-on leaks like this should always be taken with a grain of salt. Dummy units can get a few things right, but they almost never nail the real design or the fine details, and in this case, we're not just dealing with a static dummy, we've got a functioning device, but it's running an entirely different operating system. Some people find these fake units entertaining. There's even a little poll showing that 28% of people say dummy units are fun, while over half say they're not entertaining at all. For those who enjoy spotting the flaws, though, this one's a perfect example. The Android clock format, the chunky bezels, and even the way the interface feels just a bit off all make it a fun tech detective case. As we count down to the official iPhone 17 Pro reveal, leaks like this might stir up conversation, but they don't give us the full picture. Apple is still holding back plenty of details for the launch event. We've heard whispers about thinner bezels, possible new colors, and performance upgrades, but the real deal will only be confirmed once Apple takes the stage in September. Until then, we'll probably keep seeing fakes like this pop up online. And while they may not be accurate, they do highlight just how much excitement and sometimes confusion surrounds Apple's flagship launches. This Android-powered iPhone may fool someone at a glance, but the closer you look, the more obvious it becomes that it's just a stand-in, not the star of the show. In the end, this dummy is more of a curiosity than a clue. It's a reminder that in the world of tech leaks, not everything is what it seems, and sometimes the smallest detail like a leading 0 on the clock can give away the truth. Apple's real iPhone 17 Pro is coming soon, and when it does, we'll see just how far off this Android imposter really is.